If you're day trading thinking it's HALAL ... you risk losing much more than your money. You risk losing something that money can't buy back. And the worst part, most Muslims who do it don't even know why it's forbidden. In this video, I am going to show you exactly why day trading is considered haram by the overwhelming majority of contemporary scholars, why 90% of day traders lose their money, and above all, what the halal alternative is that no one explains to you clearly. Stay until the end because what I am going to share could literally save your finances and your faith. Listen, I know what you're thinking. It's just trading. It's just buying and selling. How can it be haram? And honestly, I asked myself exactly the same question. But here's what I discovered. There's a massive difference between investing and speculating. And this difference changes everything. Not just at the religious level, but at the financial level too. There are brothers and sisters who have lost thousands, even tens of thousands of euros in a few weeks. Some have hidden their losses from their family. Others have fallen into a real addiction. And the craziest part, they thought they were doing something legitimate. They thought they were growing their money. But in reality, they were playing a rigged game from the start. Okay, here's exactly what we're going to cover together in the next few minutes. And I promise, no complicated jargon. Everything will be explained simply. First, I'm going to explain to you what day trading really is. Not the marketing version they sell you on Instagram and YouTube, but the raw reality. Second, we're going to see why scholars considered haram, and I'm going to give you the clear Islamic reasons with proof without beating around the bush. Third, the real financial dangers, the statistics that the industry doesn't want you to know, the psychological traps, the addiction mechanisms. And fourth, the halal alternative, how you can really grow your money in a lawful, intelligent, and much safer way. So get comfortable and let's go together. This video could completely change your view of money. Let's start with the basics. What is day trading? Day trading is buying and selling stocks, currencies, or cryptos in the same day. Sometimes in a few minutes, sometimes in a few seconds. Imagine you buy a stock at 100 euros at 9 o'clock in the morning and you resell it at 102 euros at 9:15. You just made 2 euros profit. Sounds simple, right? But here's where it becomes problematic. You're not basing your decision on the real value of the company. You don't care at all whether this company makes cars, phones, or shoes. You just look at a chart. Lines going up and down, and you try to guess if it is going to go up or down in the next few minutes. See the problem? Now, let me show you the difference between investing and speculating, because that's the key to understanding why it's haram. When Warren Buffett buys Coca-Cola stocks, what does he look at? He looks at, does this company make profits? Does it have good management? Are its products popular? Will it still exist in 10, 20, 30 years? He OWNS part of the company. He participates in its real growth. If he keeps his shares for 20 years and Coca-Cola continues to do well, he makes real profits based on real value. Now, the day trader, he doesn't care if Coca-Cola makes good products. He just looks at a chart and says to himself, the price has gone up the last 5 minutes. Maybe it will go up again the next 5. It's pure speculation. It's gambling disguised as strategy. And it's exactly what Islam forbids under the name of Guerra and Messiah. And you know what? The day trading industry knows it's gambling, but they sell it differently. Become financially free. Trade from your phone. My students make 500 euros per day. Join my 2,000 euro training and I'll show you my secret strategies. Secret strategies. Brother, the only strategy that works for them is to sell you the training, not trading. Listen to these numbers. According to several academic studies, between 70% and 90% of day traders lose money. Less than 1% manage to generate stable income in the long term. The average day trader loses 36% of their capital in the first year. 36%. Imagine losing more than a third of your money in a year. And yet, thousands of people continue to do it. Why? Because they think they're different, that they're smarter, that they've found the method. But the reality is that the system is designed for you to lose. Now, let's talk about the religious aspect. And I want to be very clear from the start. I'm not a scholar. I don't claim to issue, but I've done my research. I've read the opinions of the great contemporary scholars. And what I'm going to present to you is the consensus of the majority of qualified institutions like the OIC Fiqh Assembly, scholars like Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi, Sheikh Ibn Baz, Sheikh Muhammad Taqi Usmani, and many others have all classified day trading as haram, or at minimum, extremely doubtful. And they base it on fundamental Islamic principles that I'm going to explain to you now. B. Reason 1. Gharar, excessive uncertainty. The first principle, gharar. This Arabic word means excessive uncertainty or speculative risk. Islam forbids commercial transactions where there is too much uncertainty about what we're buying, what we're selling, or about the outcome. The Prophet forbade the sale of gharar. He gave examples like selling fish still in the sea, or selling fruits before they ripen. Why? Because you don't know what you're going to get. It's too uncertain. Now, let's apply this to day trading. When you buy a stock at 9 o'clock, hoping it will go up at 9:05, you have nitrogen monoxide idea. You base your decision on unpredictable price movements, on mass psychology, on factors you absolutely don't control. It's like buying a mystery box, hoping it contains something valuable, but you have no guarantee. You're betting on uncertainty. And that's exactly it. Quran. Islam wants our transactions to be clear, fair, based on something tangible, not on bets. C. Reason 2. Maisir, gambling. Second principle. Maisir, gambling. Allah says in the Quran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verses 90 to 91. O you who believe, wine, gambling, stone altars, and divining arrows are but abomination from the work of Satan. Avoid them so that you may succeed. Gambling is when you risk money on an uncertain outcome hoping to win more. And the outcome depends mainly on luck, not on your real effort or your work. Day trading is exactly that. You put 1,000 euros in a stock hoping it will go up. If it goes up, you win. If it goes down, you lose. The outcome depends on factors you don't control: economic news, decisions of other traders, algorithms, geopolitical events. It's like playing online poker. Yes, there's strategy. Yes, some people win, but fundamentally, it's gambling. And Islam forbids it. Period. D. Reason 3. No real ownership. Third reason. The question of real ownership and economic contribution in Islam. For a transaction to be lawful, there must be an exchange of real value. You give something, you receive something. You work, you produce, you contribute. If you buy a house to rent it out, you provide a service. Housing. If you buy shares of a company and you keep them for years, you contribute to financing this company. You share its risks and its profits, but the day trader, he contributes to nothing. He doesn't help the company. He provides no service. He produces nothing. He just tries to buy low and sell high in a few minutes. He wants to extract money from the system without bringing value. Sheikh Taqi Usmani said it clearly. This kind of trading is not commerce. It's pure speculation. And pure speculation without real ownership or economic contribution is forbidden. So, To summarize this religious part, 1. Gharar. Too much uncertainty. You don't know what you're really buying. 2. Maisir. It's gambling disguised as trading. 3. No real value. You contribute nothing. You just extract money. Is it 100% clear for all cases? No. There are nuances depending on the types of trading, but for day trading specifically, the consensus is there. It's haram, or at minimum, extremely doubtful. And the Prophet told us, leave what makes you doubt, for what does unmake you doubt. Why risk your faith and your money for something doubtful? Now, even if we put the religious aspect aside for a second, day trading remains a terrible idea financially. Here are the facts. Stat 1. A study by the University of Berkeley followed 66,465 trading accounts. Result: 75% lost money. Only 1% generated profits after deducting fees. Stat 2. A Brazilian study on 20,000 day traders showed that 97% of them lose money over a period of 300 days. Stat 3. Even among the 3% who win, the average profits are $300 per month, less than minimum wage in many countries. $300 per month. After spending hours every day in front of screens, after the stress, after the risks, is it worth it? But why do so many people lose? Let me give you the real reasons. First, fees. With each transaction, you pay fees, spreads, commissions, platform fees. If you make 10 trades per day, these fees add up. Imagine you make a 2% profit on a trade, but the fees are 0.5%. Yo abeto win 0.5% just to cover the fees. And if you lose your money plus the fees. Second, algorithms. You're not fighting against other humans. You're fighting against ultra-fast machines used by hedge funds and institutions. These algorithms can analyze thousands of data points per second, detect patterns, and execute orders in milliseconds. You, on your phone or computer, you have nitrogen monoxide chance. It's like trying to win a race against a Ferrari when you're on a bicycle. Third, psychology. And this is perhaps the most dangerous trap. When you win, your brain releases dopamine. You feel euphoric. You think, I'm good at this, I'm going to continue. When you lose, you feel frustration, anger, and you want to recover your money. So you make another trade, and another. And you lose even more. This is what's called revenge trading. It's an emotional reaction, not rational, and it leads to ruin. Fourth, confirmation bias. You remember your gains. You forget your losses. You see an influencer show their profits on Instagram, and you think it's easy. But what they don't show you, the thousands of euros they lost before, or the fact that their real income comes from selling you training, not trading. Let me share some real stories with you. No names, out of respect, but situations I've seen or read about. A brother, 28 years old, quit his stable job to day trade full-time. He had 15,000 euros in savings. In 6 months, he had lost everything. Everything. He had to move back in with his parents, in debt, depressed. A sister, 35 years old, mother of 2 children, started trading in secret. She lost 8,000 euros from family savings. When her husband discovered it, it almost destroyed their marriage. These stories are not rare. They are common. Day trading ruins lives. It creates addiction, stress, shame, depression, and even if you think I would be different, remember, 97% of people thought exactly the same, and they lost. Okay? After all this, you might say, so what do I do with my money? Do I leave it sleeping in my bank account? No, absolutely not. There are halal, intelligent, and much safer ways to grow your money. And I'm going to present them to you now. But first, understand this well. Growing your money in a halal way is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a patient, intelligent process based on solid principles. It won't make you a millionaire in 6 months, but it can build you real and lasting wealth over 10, 20, 30 years. First alternative: long-term investment in halal stocks. When you invest long-term, you truly own part of the company. You're not there to speculate on daily price movements. You're there because you believe in the company, in its products, in its future growth. Of course, the company must be halal. That means no alcohol, no pork, no casinos, no banks with interest. Debts must not exceed 30% of total assets. Interest income must not exceed 5% of total revenue. There are tools like Zoya Musefa or Islamically that allow you to check if a stock is halal or not. For example, companies like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, according to some opinions, certain pharmaceutical, technological, or production companies can be halal. The advantage in the long term: the stock market has historically generated about 7 to 10% annual return on average. It's not spectacular, but it's consistent. And above all, it's based on real economic growth. You're not betting, you're participating in the real economy. Second alternative: halal ETFs, exchange-traded funds. An ETF is like a basket of stocks. Instead of buying a single company, you buy a small piece of many companies at the same time. There are now ETFs that contain only halal companies. Tair Kayet Shara Complan ETFs. The advantage: diversification. If one company performs poorly, the others can compensate. You reduce your risk. And it's much simpler. You don't need to choose 50 different companies yourself. The ETF does it for you. Third alternative: real estate investment. Buying real estate to rent it out is one of the most solid and most halal investments that exist. You provide a real service, housing. You generate passive income, rent, and over time the value of the property can increase. Yes, it requires starting capital. Yes, it requires management. But it's tangible, it's real, and it's lawful. And if you don't have the capital to buy an entire property, there are now halal real estate crowdfunding platforms where you can invest small amounts in real estate projects. Now, before concluding, let me tell you something that many people don't realize. Real wealth doesn't come from winning fast. It comes from patience, discipline, and the barakah of Allah. We've seen together what day trading really is. Pure speculation. Why it's haram, garar, masir, no real value. The financial dangers: 97% lose, fees, algorithms, addiction. The hello alternatives: long-term investment, hello ETFs, real estate. But there's one last thing I want to tell you before I let you go. Listen, I know the allure of quick gain is strong, especially when you see people on social media showing screenshots of profits. But remember, your money is a responsibility given by Allah, and He will ask you to account for how you used it. The Prophet said, "The true rich person is not the one who possesses many goods, but the one whose soul is satisfied." So instead of seeking to become rich quickly through doubtful means, build your wealth stone by stone, legally, ethically, and with Allah's blessing. Work hard, invest intelligently, be patient, make du'as, and trust in Allah's plan for you. You don't need day trading. You don't need those 2,000 euro trainings. You just need patience, knowledge, and if this video was useful to you, if it opened your eyes, if you think it can help other brothers and sisters, share it. Send it to your friends. Share it on your stories. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm going to continue creating content to help you navigate between finance, Islam, and modern life. Remember, your money and your faith are worth more than promises of quick wealth. Protect both. May Allah protect you, guide you, and bless you in your finances. See you very soon, inshallah.